Hello, hello and welcome. Welcome to Diablo Magazine's Diablo Women Comedy Night. My name is Melinda Solomon and I'm the marketing director here at Diablo Publications. Emily Achondo is our marketing manager and events coordinator, and right now she is backstage directing tonight's event. All of us here at Diablo Publications are thrilled to have you join us for a fun and funny evening. It's going to be filled with laughter and celebration. I think I can see that we still have some guests joining us. We hope that everyone is enjoying this event platform that we're using tonight. We've got a reception tab with information about tonight's event and bios on our speakers and comics. We have an expo tab that's got virtual booths and videos on our participants tonight. And we have a silent auction, and you're going to hear more about that as well. Please note that we've got a chat feature on the right-hand side of your screen. The chat feature is where you can submit comments and questions. Time permitting, we will ask some questions of our comics later this evening. So this evening's Diablo Women Comedy Night is brought to you by our sponsors, and we are so very grateful for their support. Our premier sponsor, presenting sponsor, is Contra Costa Oncology. Contra Costa Oncology is one of the leading oncology and hematology practices in the Bay Area. They specialize in comprehensive, cutting-edge treatment programs for all forms of cancer. And they've provided services to the East Bay for more than 10 years, with a practice foundation that goes back more than 50 years. Contra Costa Oncology and Dr. Michael Sherman are active in our community. They generously give their time and donations every year to several organizations. Please enjoy this brief message from our friends at Contra Costa Oncology. Wow. Thank you, Contra Costa Oncology. We really appreciate you. Tonight's premier prize partner is Heller Jewelers. Scott Heller, owner and founder of Heller Jewelers, says, "Our idea was to provide the most incredible jewelry designs, the kind you can't find in the chain stores, and combine them with the most knowledgeable service and caring staff so that we could establish long-term, trusting relationships with our customers." Well said, Scott. Later tonight, we will announce the lucky winner of a $500 gift certificate to Heller Jewelers. We also want to thank the dynamic women on the pages of the Diablo Women section in this month's issue. Their talent, dedication, and determination have enhanced our community. Thank you, ladies, for making this event a virtual reality. Tonight, we celebrate you. So what is it that brought us all together here tonight? Well, let me tell you. Every year, Diablo Magazine's editorial team prepares the annual women's issue. The team is always on the lookout for inspiring women, exceptional women. And this year, they found 16 trailblazers. They wrote about the women who persevered and broke ground in traditionally male-dominated fields. Fields such as professional sports, law enforcement, science, winemaking, and even stand-up comedy. Senior editor and writer Pete Crooks interviewed and wrote about all three of the comics you're going to be meeting tonight. In fact, the theme for tonight's event, A Night of Comedy, that was Pete's idea. So here's a much-deserved shout-out to Pete and his fellow editors who crafted yet another amazing issue of Diablo magazine. They are editorial director Deborah Kirk, editors Gabby Vanacore and Rachel Orvino and Ethan Fletcher, and columnist Clay Callum. Tonight, we recognize all of the Diablo women who are on the pages of Diablo magazine, and together we will celebrate how hard we all have worked this past year, and how far we have come, and how much we have achieved. So, that all being said, let's get this party started. And what better way to do that than by mixing up a signature cocktail? Tonight's Comedy Night Cocktail Kickoff is brought to us by our presenting sponsor, Contra Costa Oncology. To celebrate all the women tonight who have been so strong in so many ways, we proudly present the Diablo Women Pink Warrior. Here to shake things up for us, please welcome Diablo Publications president and publisher, Barney Fonzie, who is joined by bartender Matt Teichman of On the Rocks Bartending.
Hey, this is Barney Fonzie, and we're here at Comedy Night Cocktail Kickoff. A little fun element to the evening. It's always great to be here celebrating with you at Diablo Women. And with me today is Matt Teichman, our mixologist extraordinaire. And Matt, I think we've been vaccinated, so we can get rid of these, right?
Sounds good to me.
Okay, terrific. So we've got a special cocktail tonight called the Pink Warrior that Matt's going to show us how to make and enjoy. And before we get rolling, just a couple things. A big thank you to Contra Costa Oncology, who is our partner in tonight's event and in this special segment. And also to Gather Walnut Creek. We're in their space today. You look around, you see the white walls. Brand new space open in downtown Walnut Creek for meetings, weddings, whatever. It's great. So if you're in the need, please come take a look. So I think we're ready to go with the Pink Warrior, Matt. Shall we go and make one?
We shall.
Okay.
Let's do it. So first things first, grab your shaker here, Barney.
Okay, Matt.
We've got a pre-measured 1 ounce shot of vodka.
Maybe if I take one of these down, I'll make the drink even better.
Make it interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. We're going to add a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of flavor here with the Saint Germain.
I'll let you do mine for me. Thank you.
Next, we're going to add our mint. We're going to muddle this drink, so we're going to get the essence of the mint. Let's add our strawberries, and the more strawberries, the more pink. And
okay.
If we're making a pink warrior, it makes sense to add more strawberries.
Oh, I love strawberries. That'll be great. Terrific.
All right, so now let's muddle.
Okay.
Your hard work's going to pay off. You get to drink this after you make it.
I can't wait. I'll tell you, it's smelling really good.
Good. All right.
Okay.
Let's use our spoon to hold back the garnish.
All right. There we go.
Beautiful.
Terrific.
You're a great date at a cocktail party, Barney.
Thank you, Matt.
Next, we'll top with club soda. We're using Topo Chico, like all the cool kids are these days.
Okay.
Squeeze the lime. And we're ready to celebrate Diablo Women. We're ready to party.
All right, Matt.
To Diablo Women.
To Diablo Women. Oh, that's good. All right. Thanks for being here today.
Yeah, you bet.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Cheers, everybody. Enjoy the evening.
Well, that was fun, colorful, and beautiful, just like all of our Diablo women. Thanks again to Contra Costa Oncology for this Comedy Night Cocktail Kickoff. Thanks to Gather Walnut Creek, a special space for small weddings and events right in the heart of downtown Walnut Creek. And thanks to Barney and Matt for stirring up some delicious Pink Warriors. Cheers, ladies. That's delicious. And now I'd like to invite our VIP audience to join us on screen. Hey, hello.
We're so excited to be here.
Woo! Party.
fun. I'm so glad you're here with us.
Thank you for having us.
Yay. Well, join me. This is what we've been waiting for. We are going to welcome our host for Comedy Night. Originally from the East Bay, Amy Miller is one of the sharpest voices in comedy today. Amy is a regular at the San Francisco Punchline and Cobb's Comedy Club. She was one of Comedy Central's Up Next comics for 2018 and was a breakout favorite in season 9 of Last Comic Standing. While COVID-19 temporarily shut down live shows, Amy was a constant presence on many popular comedy podcasts. She has her own podcast. It's called Who's Your God?, in which she talks to fellow comics about their religious beliefs. Little side note, it was inspired by her personal experiences while attending a local East Bay Baptist church. Here tonight to share her wit is the smart and sassy Amy Miller.
Hey, everyone. Oh, it's so good to see you all. Hello, ladies at the table.
Hi.
You guys drinking some Pink Warriors?
You know it.
Nice. Okay. You might think this is special for this show that we're doing tonight, but actually every comedy show I do on Zoom or in person, I do request a cocktail mixing moment and a video about cancer. Those are just my conditions. You know what I mean? That's how I like to kick off comedy. I also like to start my act with reading a paragraph about our sponsor. Okay, no, I really am happy that you guys are here tonight. And sorry, we had some kinks to work out. I know there's some people still trying to get in. Hopefully you can refresh and hit play and all that. We're going to have a lot of fun. We have such great comedy tonight. And I did have to clarify before we started the show whether the magazine says Diablo or Diablo. As an East Bay native, you know that when you see any Spanish word, you just toss away all the knowledge you have about how to speak Spanish, and you basically gentrify the pronunciation. So did confirm they say Diablo. That was weird. Big surprise. That's not how I say it. San Pablo. Yes, that's how we say stuff. I had a friend visiting the East Bay recently, and she told me she was staying in Vacaville, and I was like, no, honey, you're definitely not. You're going to need to fix a few things before you get your ass beat. Tonight's event is in support of the Diablo Regional Arts Association. The DRAA is a nonprofit partner of the Lesher Center, which we all know, Lesher Center for the Arts in Walnut Creek. Yay, Lesher Center. The organization's mission is to achieve artistic excellence with the Lesher Center by providing exceptional arts programming through the quality of live theater, visual arts, youth education, and also providing avenues of accessibility for everyone to enjoy the arts. So we're going to take a second to hear more from the DRAA. Here's a video.
Good evening. I'm Peggy White, Executive Director of Diablo Regional Arts Association, and I'm sitting in the beautiful Hoffman Theater at the Lesher Center for the Arts, your cultural and entertainment home. We can't wait to see you back for live performances where you can experience joy and hope and inspiration and the personal connection we've all been missing. Thank you so much for your support and have a great time tonight.
Hi, I'm Catherine Baker, President of the Diablo Regional Arts Association. We're the nonprofit partner at the Lesher Center for the Arts. We support quality, accessible, and inspirational arts performances right here in our own community. And we want to thank you for being part of tonight's very fun event. I hope you're going to enjoy the laughter and the therapy that comes from comedy performances and Pink Warriors. We at the DRA are very grateful to be beneficiaries of tonight's event. We believe that quality arts performances have such a great impact on our individual human experience and bring us together as a community. And we believe that the arts should be accessible to everyone, all ages, all cultural backgrounds, all economic abilities, everyone, because the arts bring us together. So we are so grateful to be beneficiaries of tonight's Fund in Need and silent auction. We ask that you give generously and with joy and laughter throughout the evening for these programs, and know that the DRA will put them into quality arts performances accessible to everyone in our community and bring us together. So thank you very much, and boy, are we looking forward to seeing you right here at the Lesher Center for the Arts.
Yay! I love the round of applause for DRA. I like you ladies. Okay, I like the enthusiasm, the attention. You look great. What are you guys eating? Can I ask you that?
It's ahi tartar and watermelon salad.
Delicious. And can I ask what?
From Vadavi, we support our local restaurants.
Perfect. Can I ask what town you're in?
Walnut Creek.
Okay, I kind of guessed that from the wardrobe, but I love it. I love it. That's where Laurie's from, so we're going to have a good time tonight. I love bringing arts to the community. It's a fabulous cause. Oh, man. Okay, we have a couple questions in the comments that we're going to take, and we have a couple questions that we came in with. So, Zahra, Laurie, you guys ready for this?
Yes.
You all on screen with me? Okay, great. Oh, Melinda, did we want to say goodbye to our lovely VIP ladies or let them stay for this?
You want to stay?
Let them stay.
Okay, we're letting them stay. All right, sounds good. Yay. Laurie has decided. By the way, Laurie, we did get a comment in the chat that you were the best comedian so far, which I thought
they're expecting more.
Which I thought was really nice. I said, you know, she's only been doing it for 30 years, so this does make sense that she would be the best at it. So we have
also nice of that person that texts that to the other comics on the show. That's also prime etiquette. Good.
You know, honestly, we love it. We have a question from Pete Crooks. Yay for Pete from Diablo Magazine, who was the person who reached out to me about this article. He's been so great. Pete wants to know, Laurie, Zahra, and me, now that things are opening up again, where are our favorite live comedy shows in the East Bay / the Bay Area? You want to go first, Zahra?
Sure, yeah. I'm pretty sure the Punchline's opening back up, and Cobb's is opening back up. But what I will also say is that I always say is stay connected to comedians. You know, and actively look for your favorite comics so that you're a part of our journey and our growth back into the world. You know, I think that with television, a lot of us just kind of get used to just being fed stuff. And we forget that like art and comedy, and especially comedy that's topical, is growing, breathing, moving, and everything that makes us good at what we do is the chance to try stuff, test it, see what you think, see how society's kind of moving. And so stick around, say hi.
I love it. We're looking for pretty much a Yelp review, but we got a very philosophical answer from Zahra. Punchline Cobbs, I think we all are on the same page about loving those. What about you, Laurie? And any places in the East Bay?
Yeah, well, you know what? I'm going to be at the Alameda Comedy Club July 16th and 17th. It's a brand new room, and I haven't been there yet. So, but it's my favorite room because they booked me. So
they also booked me. I did it a couple months ago. It's very fun. The food is excellent. So if any of you live in Alameda or you want to get out there, it's a really fun little club right on your island.
Yes, go through the Caldecott Tunnel. Come on, ladies.
Yeah.
Come on out and see me on the 16th or 17th.
And I agree with Zahra. It's always a good idea to follow local comics that you like and see where they're going. I mean, I know for myself, like a lot of us have newsletters and podcasts and so many ways you can hear where we're going to be. So we love that support. I love Alameda Comedy Club. You know, there's a lot of good independent shows, especially in downtown Oakland right now, and various lists where you can find them. You can also look on Groupon and Eventbrite. I mean, there's always so much comedy going on, and still a lot of it is outdoors in the East Bay where, you know, you guys are blessed with good weather almost all the time. So it's a great place for outdoor comedy. Yeah, so check some of those places out. And then, okay, our next question is Jody wants to know, where are we each based now, and what was the hardest crowd we've ever worked? Laurie, why don't you take this one?
Tonight's crowd was the hardest one I've ever worked. Unbelievable hostility from the Walnut Creek table. Did you see they tried throwing fruit at me? It's like, ladies, we're digital right now. You can't attack me with your food.
No, they're trying to cancel you already. I saw them tweeting. They have a hashtag and everything.
I guess I'm based in Burbank, but I used to be co-based in New York, but as soon as my son is fully vaccinated, I'll start going back and forth to New York again. I just didn't want to pick up the COVID and bring more back. It's done its damage to our family. So I've been super, super careful. Yeah.
Cool. And do you want to say like tonight's crowd, okay, was the worst. Good.
I'm standing by that.
Zahra, where are you based right now?
I'm based in LA. I come up to Bay all the time, see my folks and hang. And the hardest show I ever performed?
Yeah.
Is that the second
or
part?
One of them? Yeah.
Definitely tonight, yeah. And then the hardest show I ever performed was during Trump's inauguration.
Oh, geez.
I had pitched for a grant to perform my showcase then. Now I have a comedy special called On Behalf of All Muslims. It started as a showcase at the Islamic Center in Oakland. And when I pitched it, I thought Hillary's going to win. And, we were going to have a nuanced conversation. And that's not what happened. And there were a slew of Islamic centers that were being set on fire and bomb threats going off. And I had to actually take the money that I had for a videographer and put it towards security. So when people walked into the comedy show, they had a pat down and their bags checked and just like, let's sit down and just like watch some comedy. Wow. And it was intense. And it was a lot to read, work through. It was unlike any other tension I've ever been up against. And it ended up being a really gorgeous night. My dad was there supporting me, even though my dad's like not Vin Diesel and couldn't just like take a bomb and split it in half. He came to protect me, with his shuffle. And it just like created this really warm sense of support amongst everybody. And it wound up being a really gorgeous night.
That's great. Wow. I'm thinking of bad stories and I'm like, the worst is like some lady in the crowd saying something mean to me, but you brought in the real threat of violence. So that's much worse. Political violence is not something I've had to fear on stage. Okay. So another question is, someone said, what percentage of comedians are women? That's a tough one. It's definitely, there are more and more of us all the time. It is not the same percentage that you would predict if you just looked at all the comedy club calendars in the country. Those lean more towards about 95% men. And that's just because they don't book or headline us. Which you can always do something about if you have a comedy club in your area, write to them, say, hey, you should bring Laurie, or you should have, this local woman open, like tag us on Twitter, Instagram. Like, we love that. I'd say real percentage wise, I don't know. I mean, what do you think, Laurie? Do you think we're like at about 40% now? If you look at sort of the middle of like, people at my level where it's like, 9 or 10 years, but not by any means famous and working, I guess.
Yeah, maybe 40 might be high.
Yeah.
But yeah, working, it's much harder to work, which is why some women drop out, because you can't make a living if you can't get booked, and bookers just are more comfortable booking men, even women bookers. It's super aggravating. So
yes. And then on top of that, a lot of, comics, like all of us, like when we headline, we try to work with other women. Male headliners don't do that as much, if ever. If anything, they give men more opportunities. So yeah, I guess 30% probably sounds about right.
I will say though, the women in the Bay Area are really good about it. Like Molly and Heather at Rooster Teeth, Molly at the Punchline and Heather at Rooster Teeth Feathers. They book a lot of women. And if you even go back and look at old Punchline calendars, they always had women every single month.
Yeah.
But there's like we're talking road clubs where they'll like, I get their emails just to see what's happening there, and they'll have like 16 weeks of work in their email, like 16 weeks, calendar weeks. Like, here are our upcoming shows, and there will be no female headliners at all. So
yeah, and I mean that includes like major, also very liberal cities like Portland and Denver and things like that. Like, we're not talking about like Kentucky.
Yeah,
it's brutal. And some women are lucky like you to get, like this full-time writing job where you can live without being on the road, but also you should be able to headline anywhere you want. It's crazy.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
Well, spread the word. Okay, so Terry Kilgore wants to know, what would we all have been if we were not comedians? First, Terry, we've retired that word.
No.
Well, no, I mean, a lot of people don't.
Trigger word as comedian.
A lot of people don't know this, so I am not faulting you, Terry. And we actually had to tell the magazine as well, like, oh, we don't really say comedians. It's really like saying stewardess or waitress. Like, we've retired it. We don't want to be called female comics, or it's just comics. Comedians. Yeah. So if I were not a comic, I mean, I was supposed to be a social worker. I did social work in Oakland for a long time. I was a teacher, and just got on a little detour working in the music industry. And then I became a comic, and I haven't really gone back, but that was my plan. I guess if you had asked me, when I was 20 or whatever, I was going to do social work. What about you, Zahra?
I always had it in mind that I was going to join. I heard that Goosebumps, the series, the books, I heard when I was like 12 that they had an entire like story farm that you would just like go work and type up Goosebumps stories for future R.L. Stine like books. And I was like, I'm going to do that. And it's in Toronto, and I'm going to like get into Canada. I'm going to get Canadian citizenship. So, just at a very young age, I knew I wasn't going to live and work and contribute to taxes in the United States.
Oh, that's good.
And the closest I could get to that was comedy. So,
so comedy kept you an American citizen.
that's what it's done for me. Yes.
What about you, Laurie?
I have no idea. When I was 40 and I was like in a lull, or maybe 41, I was like, maybe I should just go to law school or something, and then I started working on Conan, so that he saved a lot of criminals from terrible representation.
Oh, I'm hoping for a save like this too. I just turned 40, and in the quarantine year, I did apply to grad school, but more people applied to college this year than like ever in history.
Wow.
So I did not get in. I was waitlisted. But yeah, it's like, oh, a 20-year-old degree from Berkeley with honors isn't good enough for you. Cal State, LA? I guess not.
But Kim Kardashian is taking the bar. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't have to get a law degree to take the bar, and you don't have to get a law degree to print a fake law degree and put it in your office. So
still an option for you then, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay.
This is efficient career management, I feel.
Yeah.
Will wants to know what these albums are. I mean, I don't know. There are any number of different genres of music, Will, but they're carefully curated and in plastic, and I usually feel nervous about even playing them. I'll just look at them and then pull up the album on Spotify a lot of the time because I don't want to get in trouble for scratching them. My boyfriend beats me. Just kidding. No, he's very nice. What if this is where I admitted that? Please help. Okay. Someone wants to know, do we perform in Vegas? I'll actually be in Vegas in August at the Laugh Factory opening for Jackie Fabulous. But yeah, I think we probably all occasionally make it there. And someone wants to know, are we coming down to do shows in LA? well, all of us do a lot of shows in LA. So yeah, follow us on Twitter, Instagram. We usually post about Laurie has an amazing podcast, and she usually talks about what sets she's got coming up there. And honestly, a lot of the nuts and bolts of being a lady in comedy and how to do comedy. I find it very helpful. It's free advice every week that I enjoy with her and Jackie Cation. Thank you, Laurie.
Thank you, Amy.
Okay, now we have 2 final questions from Diablo Magazine. And number 1 is, what is your fondest/funniest memory of the East Bay? Laurie?
I guess my fondest memory is when the house in my neighborhood was raised over to put condos next to the Pleasant Hill bar station.
How did I know it wasn't going to be?
We were in the incorporated part or unincorporated, right next to Walnut Creek. It's that mess of concrete right next to Pleasant Hill bar station. And there used to be a bunch of great little dumb houses there. And now it's just covered in concrete. So that's my greatest memory.
Zahra?
Yeah.
Okay, so when I was like 10 going on 11, we had just moved to Danville, and I was at the Safeway, and something that used to happen to my mom all the time, because she wore a hijab. In case you don't know what hijab is, it's one more piece of clothing to comment on about a woman, what it is. And she would always get folks coming up to her, always in the produce aisle, asking, "Why do you hate America?" Which is a fun conversation starter. And I was a super precocious kid. And we were in this very heated generational fight about Lucky Charms because my mom kept saying that it had pork in it. And I said, that's stupid. And we were fighting, and this guy interrupted. And I was like, oh my God, no. And I turned to him, this like older Santa looking man, and I said, "We do not hate your people, sir. Now, would you tell this stupid immigrant that there's no pork in Lucky Charms?" And he said, "You do not need more sugar. Listen to your mother. There's pork in Lucky Charms." And I was like, number 1, I wasn't trying to bridge build here, pal. Why did you turn on me? And number 2, what? The gelatin. I didn't know about the gelatin. So, fond memories of Safeway.
I'll do a real quick one. We only have about 10 minutes left before we all get kicked out of here. I did get to perform at the Fox in downtown Oakland right before COVID, and that was truly one of my best East Bay memories, comedy memories. Like, it was so special. I walked out on the stage of the Fox Theater to Too Short, as everyone should. Final question, and let's do it really quickly. With everything that happened in the past year, what did you learn about yourself and or others? Laurie, 30-second answer.
I learned that I might hate half of the country, and I didn't realize that before. So that was an interesting thing to learn about myself.
It is interesting that it's a lot of the half that we always go perform for, too.
I know.
We hate our own
on my face, but I'll give it a shot.
Zahra?
Oh my gosh, I learned so many things about myself. But I especially learned that I can go to therapy, or I can buy wheels of cheese.
Oh, I love that one. Yeah, I saw a tweet yesterday from a comedian that said, like, why would I go to therapy when I can just make a big purchase? And I felt that so hard.
Yeah, and when I lost my gallbladder to how much cheese I was eating, the copay was still less than therapy. So
I think the scariest thing I learned about myself in the past year was that I definitely am a stand-up comic, which is truly embarrassing. What a terrible turn my life took. I mean, a year without it was so painful. I realized I do need the validation every night from strangers, many of whom I hate, as Laurie mentioned. Well, we appreciate you guys having us so much. This was really, really fun. You're lucky you stuck around because I think we're going to find out who won some jewelry, unless I'm mistaken. Emily, do you want to play the video announcement?
Thank you. It is our pleasure to be the Diablo Comedy Night prize partner once again. And we're excited to find out who tonight's winner will be. The winner was selected at random by the Diablo magazine event staff and placed into this bag. So let's see who the winner is.
Okay.
Kim Johnson.
Congratulations, Kim. Well, Sarah, that was fun. How about we surprise everyone and do 2 winners? So for another $500 gift certificate for Heller Jewelers. So here's our second winner. Tara Kraus. Congratulations, Tara. We look forward to meeting you both when you come visit Heller Jewelers real soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right. Yay. Congrats to Kim and Tara. And thank you. Yes. Thank you to Heller Jewelers for your sponsorship and for being so generous and giving us 2 surprise winners tonight. Just a reminder that the silent auction does close at 12 p.m. tomorrow, Friday. So get your bids in on that. And we got your questions from the chat. Right now, we're just going to say thank you once again. Shout out to the DRAA. Thank you to our VIP ladies for joining us. You were excellent. We love your spirit. And we're just going to do some quick, just a couple lines, parting advice, starting with Zahra. You have any parting advice for everybody?
I do. See a lot of comedy. Watch a lot of comedy. And it, like, if you don't like what you see, keep going so that it starts to change and looks like what you like.
I love it. Yeah, support the people you like. You know, y'all might not realize this, but a lot of people just wander into a comedy club without doing any research. And that's how these dudes keep getting booked all the time. So, yeah, come see us. Come support women you like. POC comedians, queer comedians. Yeah, just look us up. We're always performing. And live stuff in general. You know, my brother owns a venue in the East Bay and it's been shuttered for over a year. See music, you know, just go support the arts. That's what we're here for today. So go see some live stuff. You know, we're all going to be dead soon, so we got to enjoy ourselves. That's my parting advice. Laurie?
I guess mine is, you know, since the pandemic is ending, get touched, you know, like either have sex with somebody or get a massage or go to a dog park with meat in your pockets, but just get touched.
Stand in a really crowded line for ice cream or something. Thank you all so much. Thank you once again to Diablo Magazine. I want to shout out Emily and Melinda for putting this together. Emily, you're awesome. I worked in marketing for years. I know that putting events together is a nightmare, and I hope that everyone had a lot of fun. She put so much work into it, and there's so many moving parts. This has been great. Thank you all. Have a good night. Bye.
Hi. Thank you.